This episode is brought to you by Maestro Sausage, the only sausage we use at Hot Tongue. They produce sausages specifically with pizzerias in mind, and you can tell. So if your sausage isn't hitting all the right notes, let Maestro lead the way. Ladies and gentlemen, back again. Alex Koons, Pie to Pie, Hot Tongue. What's up? It's no surprise to anyone when I tell them some of my favorites in the bread world, and one of them being Nancy Silverton, and she is just, well, one of the OGs. You know, she worked at Spago, La Brea Bakery. She's been part of other restaurants. I think Matt Molina, is the head chef of Hippo, but Nancy might have a little something to do with it. But Pizzeria Mozza, she's also a fashion icon. We talk about that, but she and some other partners about 4 or 5 years ago created a restaurant called Triple Beam Pizza, and we sat down with the executive chef, Juan Robles, in their brand new location in Santa Monica, and man, it was such a dialed in restaurant. It was incredible. They had all the policy, all the checklists, all the streamlined stuff that you need to have to create strong expectations and accountability. We talk about staffing and coming up in this industry and working with the team. We talk about Juan's journey, which is pretty crazy. He's been in the culinary world for a while, in and out of different commissary kitchens from Pit Fire, and that's how he got into working at Triple Beam. He heads their commissary. We talk about how all the dough production is done in the commissary and delivered to the other restaurants. It is a really interesting podcast. The amount of freedom that Juan has in the program over there is also incredible, because it speaks volumes of the trust the partners and the founders of the company of Triple Beam have in Juan. And it also, people out there who do own their own brick and mortars, it's like being able to walk away or give this job to somebody like Juan who can really take your business and make it even better than you could have imagined. I mean, so much of what Juan is doing, he's putting himself into this business, the creativity, the knowledge, and just the passion that he has is incredible. And you can hear it in everything that he talks about, everything that we talk about, and it is a fantastic episode, one I know you're gonna enjoy. And holy moly, he hooked us up with 2 full boxes of treats. Me and Matt were just grubbing at 10 o'clock a.m. outside of my car, my Honda Fit in Santa Monica. They probably thought we were transients. I'm surprised that cops didn't roll up on us and try to arrest us. But the pizza was delicious. The pizza was so fire, they should have called the fire department. 911, baby. And you know what? We gotta pay tribute. We've heard this name before, but this is the second time. Vicente Fernandez, forever. The man had swagger. The man had style. And they are bumping that at all the Triple Beams. One of Juan's favorite artists. So, ladies and gentlemen, with further ado, I will shut the F up. The F standing for Fernandez, Vicente Fernandez. Chef Juan of Triple Beam Pizza, executive chef. Let's go. MailWise Solutions takes advertising to the next level. They design, print, and direct mail, menus, flyers, and postcards for pizzerias all across the United States. I've worked with MailWise before. I tried to design my own menu, and Kevin said, hey, give me a stab at this, and holy shit. When he sent me back the menu, I was like, I thought I was okay at what I did, and his design team blew me away. There's no mailing contracts, so you're free to advertise on your own schedule. Click the link in the show notes or request a sample pack at mailwisesolutions.com. Let's get you some new customers today. Well, we're down here. You've been open since Thursday here at the Triple Beam in Santa Monica.
Yes, sir.
How's it been going? You just showed me your fridge and told me you already have 1,000 catering orders.
It's going great, man. The community here in Santa Monica is awesome. We opened up, was it 4 days ago on Thursday? It's been a very big positive feedback and turnout from the community. We've heard we've been waiting for you guys. We're stoked. And all we're worried about right now is making sure that the neighborhood and the community is taken care of. We didn't turn DoorDash on. We just wanted to make sure everyone was good here. We're glad to be right by the ocean. It helps bring in a lot of business later in the evening, like around 5 o'clock. Catering orders. We were surprised that we got as many catering orders as we did already. But thankfully, we've had a good turnout so far.
Yeah. Let's start with you, off camera. You were dropping dimes already. you were giving me the full gamut of how you got here. But maybe give us a little history of like how we're sitting here today.
Yeah, man. So born and raised here in LA. I grew up in Linwood, California. Shout out Linwood. Yeah, man. So grew up in Linwood, graduated there, went to Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena. Started off as a Mexican bread baker. My family had a bakery growing up. Did that for about 4 or 5 years.
A bakery in Linwood?
Yeah, our bakery was actually in South Central. We were there for 4 or 5 years. It went great. The business that we were inside of went down, so we had to close up shop. That was like about 17 years old when that happened. Then from there, I went to Le Cordon Bleu, did the fine dining thing, worked in stadiums, worked all over the place, and became enamored with cooking. So I left the bakery side of it, got into the hotline, and I missed baking. I'm a baker at heart. Then from there, little by little, I ended up falling into Pit Fire Pizza. I was there for 10 years, and it became my university. It became where I found my love for pizza. I learned neo-Napolitano. I learned commissary-driven businesses. From there, again, I was there for 10 years. I started as their commissary manager. Then because I might stop you throughout your journey, but how did you just land a commissary manager position? Like it was your background already from Cordon Bleu, or like, because that seems like a pretty high up position there. Yeah, it was. So I landed in a commissary throughout my, what was it? At that point, it was about 10 years being in the industry. Okay. And at that point, I had worked at Angel Stadium. I worked in fine dining under David Myers and Michelle Myers at Sona over on La Cienega back in 2002. I did catering companies. I worked for country clubs. I did private food. So I was very versed in different aspects of the restaurant industry. I became the commissary manager because the job right before that at Angel Stadium, I was in charge of developing the orders for the suites. I became their commissary suite manager. And then from there, I worked with the commissary company side of it and getting all of my orders assembled. So I had knowledge of it. Yeah. And at Pitfire is where I learned to refine it. Okay. And how many Pitfires were there at that time? Let's see. North Hollywood, downtown LA, Westwood, and Mar Vista. 4 locations, and the commissary was about 3 months old. So I got in there, got their comm, organized that up for about 1.5 years. Then they opened up their Costa Mesa location where they asked me to be a kitchen manager, opened that place up. From there, I renovated their Westwood location. Then I did the same with Mar Vista, became their regional kitchen manager, and eventually their chef on the last 3 years of my time there. Then from there, I moved on trying to do something different. And I ended up in Jones on 3rd for about 1.5 years while I was trying to find something solid. Why'd you leave that job? I ended up leaving because after 10 years, and at this moment, I'm 39 years old. I left when I was about 34. I was ready to start doing something else, something more, something that can show me. Something that could be a little bit more about me. Yeah. My drive in my whole career has been me, who I am. I'm brown, Mexican, proud of it, wear it on my sleeve, and felt like I was locked into a position where I was in love with it, but was ready to do more. Yeah. So I went out looking, I got out of my comfort zone, and I became I was a project manager for Jones on 3rd for about 1.5 years. What's that? So I was helping
renovate their kitchens. So readjusting their metro shelving, getting things more efficient, the fluidity of the kitchen, all that jazz.
So for a lot of people that maybe don't understand like what these titles are, it kind of sounds like you are a consultant. You go in and you basically, you make everything more efficient.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yes.
Right?
I never really considered myself a consultant, but yeah, you can say that that's what I've done.
When people think consultant, they probably, I mean, it's a loaded word, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going into somebody else's program and you're talking about organizing metro shelving and like getting things tightened up and like you get you're doing different policy and you got, I mean, I walked through your kitchen and it looks like, I mean, obviously I thought a triple beam would be tight, but you don't walk through every kitchen and see, you know, KDS is all over and you got your garnishes and, you know, you have the pictures and how everything's built and everything's very clean, precise. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. I became that because I always took the positive even out of the negative going in the industry. I started in this industry at 17 years old and I always looked at bad managers and what they could have done better and vice versa. So as I've become that leader, I hold myself to that standard and say, I don't want anyone to feel the way I felt in those situations. Therefore, I have to make sure that not only do I furnish those type of things, but also making sure that people feel warm being at work, that they feel cared of, that they matter. For me, my main drive is empathy. It's emotional intelligence, EQ. It is a longer road to manage people through EQ, emotional intelligence, but it's much more rewarding. People come to work because they want to, not because they have to. When you ask them to do something, it's outside of the please and the thank you. It's the, I'll do it for you because I want to help you. I want to be here for you. I learned that through my mom's life experiences, rest in peace. She worked 3 jobs. She was a single mom. She worked a lot. And again, going back to my youth, I did a lot of sports. She was able to go maybe to 2 or 3 of my sporting events in total through my youth. And every time she was there, I either scored a goal or I knocked somebody out. The point is that I did something that I typically wouldn't do. And I think of the kids behind the people that work with me, not for me. And I make sure that if they need a day off to be able to be there for their kids, hey, even I'll wear that apron and I'll wash the dishes if I have to, because I know that person is going to be there for their child. And in the long term, I mean, when you come back full circle, my intent isn't this, but it's a matter of them saying thank you and showing their appreciation through their work. And that translates into the food. And that also helps you with longevity. A lot of people wonder, especially in these times, it's like a turnover. $1 per hour, minimum wage, everything going up. The value of the quality of place that you can provide for people supersedes $2, $3, sometimes even $4 per hour when they get offered across the street. And it's because they know that when they come in, they're comfortable. They're happy. There's camaraderie. They have the time to make their café de olla in the back and eat their little piece of bread in the morning before they get started. That they can listen to their banda music or whatever it is, which is the soul of what we do. It's that.
I purchased a Gosney Arc XL recently, and the bake has been so consistent. The bottom heat of the oven and the actual arc just cooks the crust to a caramelized perfection. There is no other oven, in my opinion, out right now that is going to give you these same results. Whether you are in need of a new oven for your pop-up or your dad's asking you, what is the best oven to make some homemade pizzas? Use our affiliate link down in the show notes. Smash the link. It helps the podcast. And more importantly, it helps you.
Yeah, what you just said might have been like some of the most important messages I think I've ever heard come out of somebody's mouth on this podcast. Just how you explained everything there. I mean, and starting off with, you know, your systems and your processes and your expectations and efficiency and kind of like how that builds a good place to work, and then you didn't say the word, but just respecting other people and outside of these four walls, and how that they bring that respect back to this job, it creates this like symbiotic relationship that is a positive one for everyone.
Yeah, like all these systems, it's putting the ideas, but it makes it more organic for things to happen, because again, people are more accepting of them, and again, they do them because they want to be a part of it and want to do something about it. One of the things that one of my kitchen managers told me the other day that, well, not the other day, it's been a while, but that I always think about is, when we all come to work, we come to work because this is where we eat from. So we take care of it because it takes care of us.
Yeah.
And that's because we're all like this.
Yeah.
We're all unified. We all understand that this is something for us, because it's not about me being more than anyone else. It's about all of us having different responsibilities to push that line and keep it going forward. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, well said. I mean, it also just is important that like somebody like you is around, and everyone knows like how much you care. I mean, like I could walk through this kitchen and I can be like, yep, people care because of like the way, even like the walk-in, like it's like, I feel like this is a restaurant I could walk into and be trained very efficiently and quickly. And maybe by my first day, I'd be like, fuck yeah, this place is rad.
Hey man, I have a job availability. You're more than welcome, dude. You're more than welcome to.
Dude, I don't know. The older I've gotten and the longer I've gotten in this industry, like the stuff on the wall and the stuff that like leaves no one guessing and creates like a solid expectation of what their job is today, tomorrow, and the next day. That's the exciting part for me. Like looking at the restaurant and how efficient it runs and the accountability, it just creates a foundation for like a great culture, because you care about every little thing. I mean, even what you told me about the mariners, like I can see like excitement in your eyes about like, we do this because like when it comes out of the bag, it tastes like it was fresh out the pot. Yeah. You know, like you talk about it as if like you're opening up a Christmas gift, you know?
I love it, man. I love what I do. It's a never ending cycle. I hate not knowing something. And when I don't know something, I go and seek the knowledge. It's like triple bean pizza, where again, we're commissary driven. We do all of our sauces, our breads and everything at our commissary in Poland ovens. We deliver 7 days a week to all of our restaurants. So our bread, our Biancos actually get to the restaurants within 8 hours of them being processed.
Yeah.
Once they actually get at the locations, we roast all of our vegetables from scratch. Everything gets treated as fine dining as we can. We garnish our pizzas. We bake them off in 3.5 minute cycles. We garnish, but everything that we garnish also, as going back to the sheets, everything has to be garnished at a very particular steps to make sure that contrast and color pops the way it's supposed to be. It's the 3 wows, right? You eat with your eyes first, then your nose, and then your mouth. You want to get those 3 wows.
But in Los Angeles, your camera eats first.
Yes, sir, man. And here we are, baby. Here we are. That without a fact is true. I was never into social media, and that was a skill I learned here, and I realized.
Do you run the social media account too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude!
So it's a cool skill.
Yeah.
Very unique skill, but the more I do it, the more I realize how important it is in this industry.
Yeah.
Well, these times.
Yeah. Well, it's a tool that everyone uses.
Yeah. And it works.
Or it uses you. So real quick, can you tell me what commissary-driven restaurant means?
So commissary-driven is, think of having 4 locations, and each location you have the exact same menu that we have, but you need to have the Poland ovens at each location to be able to produce the Biancos, let alone the talent that you need for each of those locations. Then you need the spiral mixer, then you need the walk-in space for the 20-hour fermentation. Then you talk about the dressings, the vinaigrettes. In order for you to be able to eliminate inconsistency as much as possible, you get a commissary where you do 10, 15 gallons of dressing. If that's your yield for 2 days, you produce it there and you distribute to your restaurants. That way everything is consistent. And that goes for anything that you do from sauces, dressings, vinaigrettes, pastries, breads, etc. And at the restaurant level, what that does is it helps you minimize your costs in having to get all that extra equipment, having to spend all that extra dollar per hour in the techniques that people need to have. And again, not even keeping in mind the inconsistencies from person to person, regardless of how strong they are. The maintenance of the equipment, the square footage you have to pay on rent or leasing every month. You can refine down, for example, this location here is about 3,000 square feet, but I'm able to actually have everything operating like a Highland Park location in an 1,800 square foot location. And that includes the front of the house area.
Yeah.
And that's because we do everything at the commissary. And that also lets us focus higher dollar per hour for high technique at the commissary to make sure that there's quality and consistency, and then distribution at night to make sure that everyone gets it fresh.
Yeah.
Then you talk about the commissary level where you can do pH levels in your vinaigrettes for longevity. You can talk about pasteurizations in hot product, for example, like marinara. You boil to 211 degrees. You have to boil it above for 15 minutes at that temperature. From there, it goes in the bag and you seal it, and it has to get in the bag and get sealed at no lower temperature than 186 degrees. If it drops at 186 or below, you stop the bagging process, you reboil for 15 minutes above 211, and then you continue your process. Then instead of dropping...
And pasteurization just preserves the food.
That's all it is. There's no additives and there's anything. So what happens is when it's that hot, there's no bacteria that can actually form.
Yeah.
When you seal it in the bag, there's no pathogens or anything that could go in there. Then the second trick is instead of dropping it below 40 degrees in 4 hours, you have to drop it within 2. So we have these huge stainless steel aluminum tanks that are custom made that conduce a lot more temperature. So we fill it up 3/4 of the way with ice. We get all of our bags, we drop the water, it starts melting. And within an hour and 20 minutes, it can drop to below 40 degrees.
So you get it to 210, you bag it at 210.
We bag it, we boil it for 15 minutes above 211, and it has to be bagged at no lower temp below 186.
Okay. And then you vacuum seal these fuckers?
No, these things actually get clipped. There's like a bag and clip process that you can do. You can do a manual one, or you can do one that's actually compressor driven. And you get it, you press the bag through, it seals it up. You just have to crimp it. You use one of those high temp gloves.
Yeah.
You grab the bag, you spin it, you pass it through, it clips it, and it cuts off the excess little piece, and you dump them right straight into the stainless steel tub. You do that. Yeah, you do that, man. And it just, the commissary driven part, if done right, people would never know it. It's just making sure that you use it in the right way. Like you're not going to do something like whipped butter at the commissary and send it to your restaurants. That's something that could be done at the restaurant level.
Yeah.
It's knowing what gears to shift out, in and out, to make sure that it runs as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's when you run a commissary, if done right, if profit and loss ends up as close to zero, it helps the systems as well, because you don't have the additional taxes that you have to do as well.
Yeah. Damn. So you worked for 10 years with
Pitfire?
With Pitfire, and then why did you decide to leave Pitfire?
Time to grow.
Time to grow.
Time to grow and do something else.
Grown out of Pitfire.
I grew out of Pitfire in a sense of I was ready to make my name something.
Yeah.
I wanted to do more. My end goal with all of this is to put brown on the map. And whatever it takes to get there, I don't stop. I grew up in these kitchens again. I lived in Mexico for a while as well growing up. I'm very, very, very prideful about who I am, where I come from, and who we are. That I want to be able to show people that look like me that we can be more, we can accomplish big things. It's not about, hey, patron, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días. Oh, okay. It's like, it's that timidness that I want, that stigma that I want to break.
Yeah.
So that's why I left Pitfire. It was time for me. I was ready with my toolbox. Like I tell people, every time you learn something, you're adding a tool into the toolbox. So when you do something, you're ready to be able to fix it. I felt like my toolbox was ready.
Yeah. And so what has Triple Beam provided?
Wow. Ownership is awesome. I mean, I came on board about 2 or 3 months after Echo Park had opened up. Spoke with ownership, with Matt Molina, with Randy Clement, with April Langford, with Joe Capella. We agreed, and I came on board. When I came in and I saw the pizza, I was shocked. I didn't even know what type of pizza this was. I was like, what the heck, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm in. I came on board, learned the systems, and as I was developing the business, I knew there were key people that I needed to bring on board to accomplish what I wanted to do here. So,
and real quick, what did you get hired on as?
As the executive chef.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm the executive chef for Triple Beam Pizza. I met with Nancy in the beginning. Nancy's busy. She has so much growth. She has so much energy. But I get on a phone call with her once in a while, but that's pretty much where it goes. Mm-hmm. Then Matt Molina, we worked together the first year on recipes. And then from there, he let me do my thing. But along the way, ownership allows me to spread my wings and to build Triple Beam.
So real quick, then, like, if there's a change that you want to make, or like how much check-in is there, or like if like how does that work? If there a policy change, like do you have final say? Is there like what things have to go up to the top, or is it kind of like, yo, Juan, you got this?
They gave me the keys to the Ferrari and said, drive it as fast as you can, just don't crash.
All right.
You know,
that is tight.
Yeah, they're awesome, dude. I mean, they gave me the ability to make this what I wanted. And Matt Molina told me the other day, he goes, you made it into your fucking spirit animal, dude. Like, go with it. So that's what I do. Eric Lovett, who's my director of operations, we go way back. My commissary manager, Mauricio Rosales, we're childhood friends since elementary school. My kitchen managers have worked with me for about 15 years. I bring very specific people because, again, it's through empathy. If people don't have empathy, it's a challenge for them to understand how I like things to be ran. Because again, it is more work. And the last thing that I want is do this. Why? Well, because I'm telling you to. It's like, if I don't do that, I don't expect anyone else to do that around here. So I'm very particular with the type of skills that I hire. And it's more of the soft skills. And those are the things that people have forgotten.
Well, the word empathy isn't used a lot in the restaurant industry.
It's not.
I mean, when somebody calls out or somebody does something, your mind usually is taught to go to the worst place. Like they're trying to get over me, or like blah, blah, or like they're lying. And that's like the opposite of empathy, and being able to put yourself in somebody's shoes and see the problem. And it gets lost too because of what a stressful environment it can be. It's hard to lead with empathy on a Friday night at 7:30 when somebody has fucked up for the third time.
Very true.
I mean, it's hard to lead with empathy just in everyday life. It's a very, very, very important but hard thing to do.
It is, man. It is. It's accountability, and the people around you, like here in the restaurant, in the kitchen, I really sincerely don't get that often with people calling out, because everyone holds each other accountable through that empathy. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows that, hey man, I rely on you. It's like letting your brother or your cousin down. Like, it's very, nowadays the term family environment gets overused, and it almost becomes like taboo saying that. But like here, people genuinely care about each other. So I mean, luckily I don't have that problem.
If your sausage needs aren't hitting all the right notes, then let Maestro lead the way. Maestro has been working closely with pizzerias for decades. They produce sausages designed specifically with pizzerias in mind. And you can tell, their Italian sausage crumbles look like they were handmade in your shop, and they will taste that way as well. With over 80 years in business, family owned and operated, the family is incredible, and so is their product. It's quality sausage with quality ingredients. Click the link in the show notes. A classical masterpiece awaits you. Back to the show. I was using it more as an example of like, it's easy to get ahead of yourself and be like, or I've made it in the past be like, they went and fucking drank, and they're calling out because they're hungover. But in reality, it's like, why does my mind instantly go there? It goes there because that's happened.
It's true.
I've been in the industry for 15 years. That's happened so many times that, of course, that's when somebody tells me that they're sick. It's like, come on, you're sick. But it's better just to be like, yeah, they're sick, unless I don't know that, you know? God, you just said something I wanted to piggyback on that. Oh, the word family in restaurant. I think that like that word has gotten way overused. My whole entire career in the restaurant, it's always like, we're a family. It's like,
it's almost like a red flag.
Now have been in my family for the 39 years I've been on this earth. Restaurant is very much like a family, but I'd say family is just as dysfunctional. You know, I would say the word is interesting, you know, because it does say like family is something that it's blood. And so you can't get out of it.
Yep.
You know, like you can't run away from it. And I think that family is used as like everyone loves each other and it's a great time. But really it's like a family has to go through struggle and pain and learning experiences, but they have and want to do it together. And I think that like looking at it like a real families are dysfunctional. Yeah. Not everyone's the fucking Brady Bunch, you know.
It's more of a motley crew, huh?
Yeah, 100%. And like, but I just feel like the old saying that like we're all really family here, and it's like, well, the family I have, the family I have, I don't know, like, are the families I've seen, like that sounds pretty dark and toxic. But
so who's the one throwing the chancla back there?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so
totally, man.
So is there more expansion going on for Triple Beam that you can talk about? Is this something that we see outside of California?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's we have a couple of things lined up that we're talking about. For sure, we do want to expand out of California. I'll go as far as I can go with it. Meaning I have more plans beyond Triple Beam for the future.
Yeah.
I want to have my pizzeria. I want to still be running Triple Beam in the future, but still have my own on the side. So we'll see how far I go with it before I open up my own shop.
Well, I mean, this doesn't seem like a kind of job where it's like, I'll have my thing on the side. Plus, like, It seems like you only have one gear, which is, 11. So it would probably, or you just don't see your family.
Yeah, or that.
You open up your own shop while still running Triple Beam. But like, what does your own shop look like?
I want to have wood-fired pizza. I want to have a pizza master. I just want to have a.
But you want Tony G?
Grill.
Just like have 6 different.
Oh no, man!
6 different ovens in there.
Man, Tony G, man, he's knocking it out of the park right now. Man, he's doing everything. He's for me is I just want to have two sets of ovens and a grill. Just all fire minus the pizza master, of course, but just be able to work with fire as much as possible. Have like almost like a sushi bar location up front where everyone's just kind of surrounding the pizza oven and just gets to see everything happening.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, things change. I mean, as we go through our age, things change. Who knows? I might end up staying here and I might become a part owner of this thing. Who knows?
Yeah. Is that an opportunity that's been talked about?
It's been talked about.
Yeah.
In process. We'll see what happens.
Well, they must be pretty happy with how things are going.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would hope so. But yeah, it sounds like they are. They're happy. Honestly, it's again, they're able to take a step back and really just allow us to do our thing. So I would assume we don't hear much is because they're happy,
Yeah, no news is good news.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if I already kind of touched on this, but there's 4 owners here.
Yes.
Of Triple Beam.
Yes.
And is there like a monthly check-in, a weekly check-in, or like, like they said, here's the Ferrari and drive it as fast as you want. Like, what is there a process there or a check-in?
Not really, man. It's they call whenever they have questions or they have an idea about something. Randy is a big idea person. So for him, it's let's go do Barnsdale pop-ups. Let's go to the Gamble House. Let's go do this. So he comes up with different opportunities for us to get involved in. But outside of that, there's no check-in. It's just me running the kitchen side of it, and Eric handles the front of the house side of it. And if we have questions, we call. But that's...
So then how much are you delegating? Because you're here like actually working in the shop.
Yeah. So I do part of the CEO work along with Eric. We divide and conquer it. So I handle everything that has to do with culinary across all the restaurants. I do the menu development, the R&D work for it. I train my kitchens in getting it executed. I work with the front of the house in recipe knowledge. I dip my finger in everything pretty much. I also do like the designing for the new restaurants.
Yeah. So like it sounds like ownership is definitely like very hands off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those look fucking beautiful.
Yeah, they're
dude.
they're just getting everything ready for opening this morning. So those are our 4 focaccias that we do. Those are all, the one on the left is a macerated strawberry with mint, and then it has a lemon mascarpone and fresh berry on top. The one next to that is a stracciatella cheese with prosciutto and toasted hazelnut. Next to that is our roasted zucchini with herb de Provence and pesto with squash blossom. Then it's our overloaded olive, which is my personal favorite.
86 olives, dude.
Yeah.
There's a fucking shit ton of olives, dude.
Yeah, that olive one's my favorite. So that's a pimento, green olive with pimento. Then in the back, we have all of our garlic knots that have roasted garlic puree and then fresh roasted garlic up on top with aged parm. And on the right, the final one is our brookie. So that has a milk chocolate cookie top and a dark chocolate bottom. Jesus. And it has bourbon chocolate in the center. So when we warm it up, it's nice and oozy at the center.
Those fucking garlic knots are insane.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's my baker's table. So during service, we'll have our grab and go salads here. We do little presentations there of our breads as well.
How do these get heated up?
So the way it works is we'll have our heat lamps, but when they get heated up, there's a Cadico oven next to that KDS screen. Yeah, they warm them up and then they'll box them up. We have a focaccia 4-pack that we'll do in our half pizza box, or we'll do just an individual in a smaller box. And you just kind of go to town. A lot of people here in Santa Monica have came just for the focaccia.
Yeah.
So it's those are my babies right there, man. That's my little way of flexing my bakery muscle.
Yeah, well, it's flexing.
Thank you, man.
Has it ever been hard like explaining to people what the fuck this is? We cut and weigh pizza. Like, I mean, I have a hard enough time telling people what like a Detroit style slice is. So like this
Very
is
good
like
question.
Roman style pizza is fucking foreign. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah,
it's Roman style pizza. It's fucking foreign, and no one else is doing like fast casual Roman style pizza in Los Angeles or Southern California, as far as I know.
Yeah, man. That's a very, very good question.
Thank you.
He goes, I do what I do. Honestly, man, it's educating people. And like for our focaccias, that's one whole thing. Like here, people assume that that's what our pizza is.
Of course.
But it's exactly. So it's educating them in how the menus on that side are breads. Now, during the pandemic, we eliminated our weighing by the slice just because.
Okay, so that's not going down anymore.
Yeah, that stopped during the pandemic. So now what we do is we actually narrowed it down to a whole, a half, or a quarter slice, which is about this big.
Okay.
And then from there, they'll navigate it out. And then we explain to them the hydration, how it's a thin crust. We'll have a sample out so people can see what the pizza looks like. And then when we talk about Roman style pizza, the more famous Mormano is the al taglio. But naturally, those are al taglio. They're made in pans. These are actually straight up on the deck.
Yeah, with the big ass paddles.
Yeah, man. So like our dough is right now with the summer, it's about 94, almost 95% hydration in there. We age for about 20 to 22 hours. We do everything again in our Poland ovens. We put them straight onto the...
What kind of flour?
Harvest King, special patent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that, and we use non-diastatic malt powder, which is very challenging to find nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's how we're able to achieve our high hydration. But so we do that.
Like
we
Harvest King, like General Mills Harvest King?
Yeah, the Harvest King. Yeah,
All
they
Trumps.
Yeah, they have I know. They have a special patent flour that's pretty fucking awesome.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Triple beam using all trumps, dude. Nancy.
But yeah, man. So yeah, but yes, it's a good question. It is educating people in it.
Damn, dude. Well, I mean, I remember going for the first time and like, I think I had just started reading about Roman style pizza and it was like, I pulled up and I just saw so many people fucking confused about the weighing.
Yeah. It was confusing. When I came on board, we had lines.
Americans
but
are
they
so
were like,
fucking dumb. Scale? What?
And that's the other thing is it's with that, it's also like, oh, well, I don't want the piece that doesn't have toppings. I don't want the side that has the bread. So I just want the middle part. Then you have the waste from the edges.
Yeah.
You know, people like us, we want to taste the bread. So we want a piece that doesn't have the sauce on it. Really look at the quality, taste it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, well, most people are so concerned with how much is on a slice.
Yes.
And people have forgotten the most beautiful part about pizza, which is the bread that it sits on.
Absolutely.
That is the most special thing about it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't think that, then that's cool because toppings like cheese and pepperoni and sauce are delicious too. But like that really special defining thing is the bread that it sits on.
Well, that's part of the renaissance with pizza here in LA nowadays. Like I remember growing up, like I've been doing this for 22 years already, going on 23. And I remember it was all fine dining. After fine dining, it became cafes. After cafes, like who would have thought that LA would have gravitated so much to pizza? And people like us that are starting this whole culture, it's educating people so the ones after us could get a bigger stride and be able to do more with it. But like you said, it's about the bread. Part of the concern with people is, well, we charge what we charge for our pizzas in the $30, let's say. We grew up $5 pizzas. Like I grew up on Pizza Loca, man. Like I'm from the hood, you know, like Pizza Loca, a gigante was like $12.99 and you get a big old rectangular box, you know?
Yeah.
But like, apparently people are really digging our pizza. I mean, Hot Tongue, us, Aussies of Beats, all these guys, like, it's like we were all concerned about, well, are people going to pay this much for it? And it sounds like they are. I mean, they're understanding the bread. They're understanding the pizza.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, we can do what we do. I mean, especially myself, like I by no means do traditional style pizza.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hits. I mean, it hits. And for me, it's doing something different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously my Korean bibimbap, I think you had that one at Pizza Fest, right?
Yeah, and honestly, that was like one of my favorite slices. It stood out, and I just like a higher hydration, just a fluffier. I love squares, but it was great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I'd had so many non-alcoholic beers that day.
Oh, that makes two of us too.
Yeah.
You know,
I had like 6 non-alcoholic beers. Dude. I don't think you're supposed to drink 6, dude.
No, I
felt pretty sick.
Especially you, man. You were outside. You were under a small tent, right?
Yeah, they put baby in a corner.
Dude.
They put fucking Hot Tongue in the corner, and they made a bad mistake with that, dude, because the party was outside, my friend.
You were rocking.
We were blasting Creed.
It
was fucking blazing out there. We were cooking right next to Joe's.
I remember. Yeah, that's right. He was to your left.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember your big old ranch.
The ranch was a hit, dude. We had so many people come back just for the ranch.
I bet people were going from other spots just to go and get your ranch to eat.
That's 100% right, because the ranch makes everything better.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You were in the shade. What was it like in the rich person area?
In the rich person area, it was cool, man. I mean, that day flew. I didn't really have a chance to even try anyone's pizza.
Did you walk around?
I had a chance to before it started, but once it did, I wasn't able to get away. I think actually I went in the middle of the day. I did a quick lap and that's when I saw you. But I saw you doing your whole thing and I was like, I'm not even going to kill his mojo. I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? And I just kept walking because you were busy.
Dude, mojo was strong.
You were telling me the vibes. It was on, dude.
The vibes were good. That was fun and well done.
It was a great time. It was a great time, dude.
There's a lot of people who got pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
We had this girl came to get some ranch, the last person to grab it, and she just hit it so hard, and it just went all over her shirt.
dude.
And she didn't give a shit. She was like, with the ramekin.
And then drank her beer.
Yeah. No, and then just drank the ramekin or ranch. Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, did you do it the year before?
We were invited for the first year, but we weren't able to because we were working on getting our commissary built up, and we had a bunch of at BMO Stadium we were getting started. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do the first year. But yeah, now that I did this first one, the second year around, I wish I would have.
Yeah. Is the BMO Stadium situation? I mean, all kitchens they're using a conveyor, right?
Yeah. So actually, at BMO, it's a little bit of a unique situation. There, they have pizza masters. So yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, they have pizza masters in there. So we're actually in their LA Fields location that's attached to their stadium. They open it up before the games start. So we got hit up by Hugo Miranda, who's the chef there, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I want to come over here. I want you to check this out. Let me know what you think." So I went over there. I met him. Cool group of cats. Got Triple Beam in there last season, halfway through. It became a hit. We were over there with Amboys and I forget the name of the other place, but it's a good location, dude. We're working actually on trying to get into the stadium. And hopefully in the near future, we might be able to get into a couple of stadiums around here also with legends.
But
So
you're
there's-
trying, what are you getting? You doing Angel Stadium? You getting into Dodgers? What's going on, dude?
I don't know, man. That's TBD.
Oh,
TBD, man.
shit. Off camera, I'm going to get the real answer.
TBD, man.
Very cool. Man. Well, were you familiar with Nancy's work before coming here?
I was familiar with La Brea Bread Bakery.
Yeah.
And I had gone to Mota. My wife is a pastry chef. I met her at Le Cordon Bleu.
Yeah.
And we went to Mota like twice, and we sat at her Mott's bar.
Yeah.
So when this idea came up about interviewing with them, I was giddy. I'm like, dude, I get to work with Nancy Silverton. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she was a big factor in me coming on board.
Yeah, I just feel like pizza and bread in Los Angeles, she's like definitely a defining entity of like bread culture, at least for me. Like La Brea Bakery, like that book, how she talks about bread and going to Europe and being like, I want to make bread like that. And also one time I went to the Ace. I was checking at the Ace and she was checking out, and she's a style icon as well.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's always like.
And I was like, it was as if I was seeing, I don't know, like Brad Pitt or Kanye West. And I was like, should I say something? And then, but I didn't say anything, but a little bit of her shawl hit my arm.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, but I came back and made one of the best bread recipes I had ever made.
There you go, dude.
And I had been touched by Nancy Silverton.
You still haven't washed that sweater, have you?
No, I have not. And honestly, since that encounter, she doesn't know it, but my bread game had gotten better and better every day.
Yeah, dude. It's having her on the pizza box. It reminds me of the standard I have to maintain. It's a lot to make sure that we execute at a level that it's to her standard and her name.
Yeah.
So when I see people post, "Thank you, Nancy," or "Nancy this and Nancy that," it actually does flatter me, because at least I know that they think that it's her doing it and that the quality is that good. So
that's not like a hard thing, because obviously like marketing is so important, right? Mm-hmm. And when I think Triple Beam Pizza, I think like, oh, Nancy Silverton and Matt Molina. Also, Hippo is like me and my wife's like favorite restaurant.
It's awesome.
He's always there.
He's always there.
But like, that's what I think. Mm-hmm. And is it tough knowing that, like, I mean, you're doing everything from like recipe development to the Instagram. Isn't it a little tough to be like, thank you, Nancy? Does that get to you at all?
It does. I'm not gonna lie. It does. It does. you're like squeezing it, the last little drop of toothpaste out of it. Like, honestly, dude, yeah, it does, dude. But honestly, it's having these opportunities. For example, like with you asking me to be on your podcast, going into like Dave Turkel and meeting him and starting to meet all these pizza guys. I'm learning to make it mine. and I look for opportunities and how to include my name into it as well. And that's just a process. And that goes back to me wanting to make my own pizzeria. It's while I'm here, build it as best and as strong as I can, but at the same time, being able to pull that pedigree to myself. So when I do get my own shop, I can use that.
Well, yeah, you can do the same thing. And I think that there's a lot of genius in what the ownership here has done, which is they've created the brand. They have formulated the pillars of what it should be like. And then they have put it in somebody's hands like yourself who can continue to elevate the brand. You get to make it like your own as well. And like everyone kind of, that's what any owner would want.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what I want, do you know what I mean? Like at some point, like I have no problem giving away the baby to give growth to somebody else, to let somebody else shine and create opportunity.
Love that. Love it.
And that, I mean, that's the dream. And then go work on something else. I mean, like you said, Nancy's on chef's table. Nancy's got mozza. Nancy's a fashion icon, you know, like, that's what you want to be able to do, multiple things. And so like, it's also very cool that you've had this opportunity. You literally are running this, it's an empire, you know, you got a commissary and 4 things, like this is a California institution, you know?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And be able to take all of that knowledge and all of this experience to your own shop is going to be priceless.
I hope so, man. It's been one of those moves of I hate not knowing. So my take is I don't mind hiring a director of ops in my future for my company. But at least I know what that entails and what they have to do, so I don't get chipped at the end as well.
Of course,
you know?
And it's like having that experience. Most people don't even know when to hire somebody like that. I mean, and you know how that job should be run, what's expected. I feel like it's hard for me to even comprehend because everything that you're talking about is stuff that I do day to day at Hot Tongue. So you're doing all the stuff that an owner would do. But like knowing when in your journey, when you get to your shop, when you get 3, 4, 5, knowing when to take that step back or like not be the person anymore. Like not a lot of people have that angle. Maybe people continue breaking their backs for too long or don't know when to get out so that other people can grow or create this little space to breathe so that everyone in the program has the best place to be working at.
It has to be, man. Like if you take things and you put everything on your shoulders, you will only get so far.
Yeah.
There's power and there's strength in empathy and in understanding that you need other people. And as you said perfectly, it's about growing people as well, developing them. When they're with you, they should leave stronger. They shouldn't leave the same. It's making sure that you give people opportunity because at some point, someone gave us that opportunity. I was given this opportunity and here I am. So it takes a lot of work, but there is a sprinkle of luck that you need to run into to be able to spark that last little bunch of fire.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, it's like that. I remember I saw this, I'm sure you've seen it. It's online where it shows 2 guys that are digging into a cave. And one guy steps away when he's like about an inch away from hitting diamonds. Yeah. And the other guy's just relentless. He's about to hit it. He's a little bit behind him though. And it's about exactly that. As you grow from the bottom, you see reward through compensation and accolades immediate because you're from a cook, you're a line cook, you're a sous chef, you're blah, 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 blah. You get to a certain part of your growth where you plateau and it's there for a long time. And it goes back to that analogy. You never know when you're about to hit that wall of diamonds. So why stop? Yeah. You could work your behind off for so many years. And then when you say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm gonna stop. You almost had it, but it's just being relentless and just keep going and keep going a little bit more until you get there.
Patience.
You have to, man. Through consistency. People say, well, it's the same thing every day. I'm like, yeah, but every day you could get better. You could become more efficient at that item. Just because you finished it in 5 minutes today doesn't mean it should take you 5 minutes tomorrow. I know it's something that has to come from inside because it's a self-motivating mechanism.
Yeah.
But every day you should strive to be a little bit better in some part of your life.
1% better every day.
Every day. Every day. You drop a little drop of water in that cup, eventually it'll get full, man.
That's 100%.
Yes, sir.
Man. All right. Well, we're going to end it there.
Yeah.
I got my final question.
Yeah.
Most important one. Who is the greatest artist or band of all time to you?
Wow. The greatest band. I have to go in Spanish, man. That's Vicente Fernandez is number one.
Ooh, all right. We've got
Vicente
the man,
Fernandez,
the myth,
man.
the legend. Rest in peace.
Vicente Fernandez, he's rest in peace. I mean, he's the one I karaoke to when I'm drinking, and I'm not even a karaokeer, man, but he's the one that blasts in the kitchen and everyone sings and they're enjoying and they're smiling and laughing.
Crying.
Yeah, dude, a little bit of everything, you know? Favorite actor? Sylvester Stallone, Rocky IV, best movie of all time, man.
Shit, okay.
Best movie of all time, dude. Rocky IV, no
Why
doubt.
the fourth one?
Ivan Drago, man, when he knocks out Ivan Drago, the tall Russian guy.
Yeah,
it's just
he
there's
dies,
so much
he
action.
dies.
Yeah,
That's four?
If he dies. Yeah, that's
First
Rocky
is
IV.
Apollo.
First
the
is
second
Apollo.
one is Apollo.
Then it's
third
Mr.
one-
T.
Mr. T was the third one?
He was the third one.
Dude, the montage of him like running through Russia in the snow and shit.
Yeah, dude. The music.
Yeah, and then like the Russian dude on all this sick
Hell
technology.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, it pumps you up, dude.
Yeah, that's us today.
Hell yeah, just like little 10-year-old me over there doing push-ups while he's trying to train in Rocky IV. There you go, baby. There you go.
Yeah. Damn. Have you seen any of the new ones?
I have not seen the Creed ones. I saw the very last one that he made, the one where he gives that
The street fight one, the number like when he's like fighting that guy in the street.
That was a Rocky V. That was the one that
There's
was
a
like in
Rocky
92.
VI?
Yeah, there's a Rocky 6 that came out like in the 2012, 2015, and there's a Creed ones. But this last one that he did was awesome, dude. I mean, there was a part where he talks to his son when he's outside and talks about like, it's about when you get hit, but it's about you getting up and you keep pushing. Like, don't let anyone talk down to you. Like, you get hit, but you just keep going. You keep going. You don't give up.
Well, yeah, because that's literally what life is, just getting the shit kicked out of you every day.
It is, man.
And then just you deciding to wake up and continue on, like you said, that plateau. It's there's diamonds at some point.
It's grit.
Yeah.
It's passion. It's family.
It's grit, it's passion, it's family. Thank you, dude. Thank you for
brother.
doing this.
Thank you, brother.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much.